Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 5 Minutes for Fighting. I'm your host, Jesse Rowe, and I am joined by an incredible guest this week, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So what's going on, man? I mean, obviously we're in the midst of like one of the biggest fights of the year with Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis. Uh, it's an exciting time for boxing. Just quickly, like, what are your thoughts on the fight? Your overall feelings about how things are going to play out?
It's the biggest fight in all of boxing. You have two young undefeated champions coming together, in the prime of their career. And both guys have wanted this fight for quite some time. And this is going to be a win for the fans because it's not often that you see two young guys really come together, especially this early on in their career, because there's a lot at risk for both guys. So, in Tank's case, he's definitely wanted this guy for quite some time. And, in Ryan's case, I can say the same thing. He's wanted to fight Tank for quite some time. So this is what happens. What you get is two guys that really, really want it. They want it bad. And here we come. Next Saturday night, the biggest fight in all of boxing is going down.
On the topic of undefeated fighters, do you think there's a chance that Tank could actually one day challenge for that 50-0 record? I mean, who's the fighter out there that could actually challenge for that, even if they do take those big risks?
I personally don't think he'll be boxing that long. I mean, he's indicated that himself that he doesn't want to box, too much longer, meaning a couple more years. And I totally respect that because boxing is a brutal sport, and the goal should always be to be the best that you possibly can and make as much money as you can and to leave with all your faculties. And I'm sure from a legacy standpoint, he wants to beat the quote unquote the top guys that they say who are the top guys, and then I think he'll ride off into the sunset.
So I've seen you say that you believe Tank will win this fight. How do you see this fight playing out? What is your prediction?
My prediction is Tank by knockout. Don't know what round, but my prediction is Ryan Garcia will not see the 12th round.
Will this be the toughest fight in Tank's career, do you think, regardless of outcome?
Well, we have to really just wait to see how it plays out. But I know that to date, Ryan Garcia is the toughest challenge on paper that Tank will have faced thus far. So again, I know what Ryan Garcia brings to the table. He's a very good fighter. He's a very good fighter. Yeah. And it's not going to be easy, but Tank's going to get the job done, and he's going to do it in an impressive fashion.
I have to ask this question because obviously the internet, people talk about this all the time. Floyd and Tank were actually hanging out at the Plant Benavidez fight. And, obviously people start speculating. How are they doing? How's their relationship?
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Is Floyd giving any advice to Tank leading up to the fight against Garcia? Has he reached out in any way?
Floyd's always giving advice. He's always giving advice. That's what he does. He's a very knowledgeable person. And I think it's a tremendous advantage, to have someone like an ear like, Floyd, who has a vision and has done it better than anybody. Has won all the big fights. And, so it's always a positive to have, that kind of voice around.
Right. So they're cool. So Tank and Floyd, they're cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, that's good to hear because obviously, people say stuff on the internet all the time, right? It always goes back and forth.
I don't pay nothing that nobody else has to say something that they don't know nothing about.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I guess the last thing I'd ask you is what's next for Floyd? He just had his he had his fight in England, in the UK recently. What's next for him?
He's probably going to continue to do exhibitions. He loves entertaining the fans. Especially he didn't get a chance to travel abroad. And he has a lot of fans internationally. And that's what he's been doing, having fun, just doing exhibitions. And I continually will support that. You know, that's some fun to do, and you know.
Cool. Well, Leonard, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I know you got to go. I know you got a lot of stuff to do. So you're a busy man. Thank you for taking some time with me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. Order now. Don't wait.
Right.
Order now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Leonard. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Take care.